Welcome to another episode where we delve into the most fascinating stories from history and extract powerful lessons that still apply today. In this video, we'll explore an incredible tale from ancient China. Let's hop into it. During China's War of the Three Kingdoms, 207 to 265 AD, the great general Chuko Liang, commanding the forces of the Shu Kingdom, dispatched his immense army to a remote camp while he rested in a small town with a few soldiers. Suddenly, sentinels rushed in with the alarming news that an adversary force of over 150,000 troops under Sima Yi was approaching. With only 100 men to protect him, Chuko Liang's situation was hopeless. The enemy would finally capture this famous leader. Without lamenting his fate or wasting time trying to figure out how he had been caught, Liang ordered his troops to take down their banners, open the city gates and hide. He himself then took a seat on the most visible part of the city's wall. Wearing a Taoist robe, he lit some incense, strummed his lute, and began to chant. Minutes later, he could see the vast enemy army approaching, an endless phalanx of soldiers. Pretending not to notice them, he continued to sing and play the lute. Soon the army stood at the town gates. At its head was Sima Yi, who instantly recognized the man on the wall. Even so, as his soldiers itched to enter the unguarded town through its open gates, Sima Yi hesitated, held them back, and studied Liang on the wall. Then he ordered an immediate and swift retreat. Chuko Liang was commonly known as the Sleeping Dragon. His exploits in the War of the Three Kingdoms were legendary. Once a man claiming to be a disaffected enemy lieutenant came to his camp, offering help and information. Liang instantly recognized the situation as a setup. This man was a false deserter and should be beheaded. At the last moment though, as the axe was about to fall, Liang halted the execution and offered to spare the man's life if he agreed to become a double agent. Grateful and terrified, the man agreed and began supplying false information to the enemy. Liang won battle after battle. On another occasion, Liang stole a military seal and created false documents dispatching his enemy's troops to distant locations. Once the troops had dispersed, he was able to capture 3 cities, so that he controlled an entire corridor of the enemy's kingdom. He also once tricked the enemy into believing one of its best generals was a traitor, forcing the man to escape and join forces with Liang. The Sleeping Dragon carefully cultivated his reputation of being the cleverest man in China, one who always had a trick up his sleeve. As powerful as any weapon, this reputation struck fear into his enemy. Sima Yi had fought against Chuko Liang dozens of times and knew him well. When he came upon the empty city, with Liang praying on the wall, he was stunned. The Taoist robes, the chanting, the incense, this had to be a game of intimidation. The man was clearly taunting him, daring him to walk into a trap. The game was so obvious that for one moment it crossed his mind that Liang actually was alone and desperate. But so great was his fear of Liang that he dared not risk finding out. Such is the power of reputation. It can put a vast army on the defensive, even force them into retreat, without a single arrow being fired. For as Cicero says, even those who argue against fame still want the books they write against it to bear their name in the title, and hope to become famous for despising it. Everything else is subject to barter. We will let our friends have our goods and our lives if need be, but a case of sharing our fame and making someone else the gift of our reputation is hardly to be found. This story was depicted from the one-of-its-kind book, The 48 Laws of Power, by the author Robert Greene. It's illustrating the 5th law of power. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. If you enjoyed this story and found value in the lesson of guarding your reputation, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to stay updated with our latest content. Share your thoughts in the comments below. How do you protect and cultivate your own reputation? Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay curious and keep learning.